Outer Orange.
Today, we are gonna go over some deck lists early on. Idolmaster drops this set, so we're gonna go ahead and look at basically some deck lists that were performing well over for deck standards. Let's go ahead and do it. All right, fam, it's deck standard day. I really like doing these; they're pretty fun. But I'm gonna tell you right now, even though there aren't that many lists on here, I would definitely be cautious of Sword. Sword, there's actually no list for Sword for this one, but definitely be on the lookout for Sword because some of the new Sword cards in Swordcraft are really good, or as their own deck. I think there's some spice with that craft going on with the Idolmaster stuff combined with what Sword is already capable of, but I'm not a Sword main, so I could be wrong. The looks they're showing, Idolmaster came out. I think the more popular options are like cool and cute, but also Passion's not too bad. They're basically 3 different trial decks with 3 different boss cards, and those boss cards basically let you do some cool stuff. Cool is very aggressive. Cute, I believe, is the heal deck, and I don't remember off the top of my head what Passion does, but Passion has like a level of Havencraft in it, so it's got some surprisingly it's got some Storm cards and some warding going on. So we're gonna take a look at some of these. There's only one list for Forest, surprisingly enough, but I will tell you right now, Forest has Anastasia, which is right here, this card down here, and this card is absolutely insane. There's a new 1-drop that comes out that's also insane, and I'm just telling you right now, there's definitely a lot of sauce going on with Forest. Forest, I think, got some of the better Idolmaster cards, so definitely be on the lookout. If you're a big Forest main, you probably have some ideas of what to build into for the upcoming set, and Anastasia definitely helps with that. She's like different Spiana, and she's just got a lot of tricks up her sleeve, so be very careful. Very, very powerful card there. Rune, obviously, we still have D-Shift. I believe this is the first place. Yeah, this is the first place. This is the winner for the Grand Prix. I believe second place was Cool, if I'm correct, for Idolmaster, but this is the first place. One took it all. Now keep in mind, in this top 8, there's actually videos of the top 8, but in the top 8, there's a ton of Idolmaster decks within it all too, and I think Egg was performing pretty well too because they're also getting Idolmaster cards, so keep on a lookout. Kuan was the most represented deck, I believe, there. Keep in mind, there's still like other decks that are also on a pretty good power level. Even Kuan's like still the best deck type of thing, but this is the Kuan list. I'm not a Rune main, so I'm not going to break down every single tech here. The only thing I can really say is that it looks like a pretty standard list. They're running the Penguin. They're not running the other Uma card that people tend to run in some lists. They put out that Uma card, the one that also grabs spells and minuses the board a little bit. They chose not to play that. That's about as much as I can say without like with it making sense. I do see they're running 3 snipes. They also have access to the Idolmaster snipe, but we're not even seeing anything past 3 here, so there's that. But that's about as much as I could say about Kuan. I'm not that experienced, but there's some more lists. But this looks like a different list. This one's running 4 snipes in here, so this one's slightly a little different. Do have the Merlin. We don't have the other Uma card in here, but I am seeing one of the new Idolmaster card here. There is a one of, so she's somewhere. Don't know exactly what she looks like, but she's in here somewhere. Maybe I'm just going crazy, or they're just not running it. I might just be overlooking it. I swear, like they have it in their evolve zone, so it should be in here, unless there was a mistake in the evolve zone. I'm not too sure. This is why I don't look at rune decks. I don't know what I'm looking at half the time. There's another one. Maybe there's like some kind of I'm just gonna stop looking at Kuan lists. Let's look at some of the ones from the actual challenges. Maybe I'll actually be able to understand what's going on. But here's another list. Looks overall standard. I see the 3 snipes, the Trail of Light, the Merlins, the Curse Crafter, Shifter, whatever cards, the Shinigami ones. I'm gonna just go over. I don't know what's going on there. Dragon. The fact there's no dragon, this is kind of wild because there's definitely a lot of dragon going on. There's Abyss. Abyss, they get access to the new 2-drop. This 2-drop's absolutely insane. It makes Lelouch better, which is the deck we're seeing right now. It makes basically a lot of decks better. And there's also a new deck coming out soon in set 7. That's like a 2-cost Rose deck, where for Abyss, it's definitely going to make it a lot better. But you'd be surprised, but now we have a little bit of mill engine with Ronko. I believe this is Ronko or Ronko. I don't remember her exact name, but she's really good. Like her entire effect is just really good. I think she's very playable in a deck like this. Also, this card right here is also pretty good. Don't remember off the top of my head exactly what it does, but I know it was pretty good when I read it. But like I said, you gotta have like this hyper mill engine you can go into, and it's actually surprisingly very powerful. This deck's really fast, and the fact that it kills 3 costs now, specifically 3 costs, and you get a mill off of the spell for a 2-drop is insane. Because you can nuke stuff like Alice like a lot easier now. Any 3 cost, card, which is a lot of 3 costs for an evolve, with evolve for 1. A lot of decks have access to those. Merlin, I think, is another one of them, but yeah, this just makes the deck so much better. So this is the Whispers of a Dream, I believe it's the full name of it. I just call it Whispers. Whispers is insane, so be mindful of Whispers. It's a very, very good deck. Here's a control version. They call it a control. I don't know if it's actually control, but I'm seeing a little bit of think this is a little bit of no, it's still Jinzetsu. The other build wasn't running Jinzetsu, but here's a little bit of the Omen being splashed in there. Here's Ranko again. Whispers of a Dream. This card is gonna keep coming back. I looked into some future sets, and this card is like in almost every list. I don't know if it stays like that in like the current format over there, but I do know you see this card a lot, especially with the 2 cost Abyss coming out. And I have a little bit of that mill engine. You can kind of mill for the Izzerfills. Surprisingly enough, the Izzerfill is actually kind of like really good. I've been testing Izzerfill in my Abyss list now, and I'm like, damn, like this is pretty annoying. Like you basically, once you have this on curve, you kind of just win the game there, because a lot of decks just don't like play around Izzerfill anymore because they don't really need to, or they don't really feel like they have to, so they just forget that Izzerfill's a card, and then you drop this thing, they're like, oh yeah, you know, that's a card. And she is a board clear, so a pseudo board clear. But yeah, be mindful of the Izzerfill with the Death's Breath. I think that's the way to build Abyss, in my opinion. I think you should be running this kind of package. A lot of lists don't, but I kind of disagree. I think you should be. Let's just go on Haven. Oh, Lord. Haven is just so... There's just not that many lists. I'm so sad. Well, I guess since this is an Idolmaster set, we can talk about the Idolmaster stuff, because Idolmaster was kind of the main performance. If you actually go to the WGP stuff and look at the videos, a lot of it is Idolmaster focused, so it kind of makes sense. This is an Idolmaster list here. This is like the Highlander version or whatever, where you're running Idolmaster as your main thing. So we have the main cool girl. She basically kind of plays like Sword, where you're just throwing a bunch of dudes on the board. There's a lot of good 1 cost. This is from the trial deck here. She can evolve actually into her and just like burn you directly. This card's insane. This like the dragon card right here. She basically gets a 3 and a 1 to the board, and it's like, I believe it's generic if I remember correctly. Insane card. She's really strong. This girl is actually pretty good too. She's got a lot of effects on her, and she kind of plays off of, I believe, her, and it's either her and her, or her and her. I don't remember which 2 drops she plays with. Where if you have one, you get an effect. If you have the other, you get the effect. You have like basically an effect based off what your board state is. But yeah, the 1-drops in this entire like little like collab thing are actually really strong. There's actually an entire 1-drop deck you can actually run, and it actually works. They all kind of buff each other up, and you just keep getting a big board. Your opponent has to keep answering it, and eventually you just go into I believe her name is Rumiko. You go into her and you just go, okay, I'm just gonna close out, or you go to Cool and you close out that way. You have a lot of ways to kind of close out. It's basically just like a different version of Aggressive Sword, in my opinion. But so you can kind of run different variations. Some are running the Anastasia. Anastasia is also just a really good card to run. They're running the 1-drop here for Force. This card's absolutely insane as well. It just lets you just kind of combo off faster. This card's actually really good. I pulled the little signature version of this card. I read it. I was like, I can't remember the effect off the top of my head right this very second. That's also a really good card. This one felt okay. This one seems good. I've seen some lists run this card, and as you can see, the 1-drop package is kind of similar. But yeah, this is actually running the 1-drop package. You have the 1-1-1-1-1. Notice it's 1s in every single craft. So just keep in mind, all the 1-drops are really good. Some of them are really generic. Some of them search for each other. It's really weird. They all kind of work off each other. So just FYI, if you can just grab all the 1-drops and go crazy. By the way, this is the snipe right here for Idolmaster. So this is it's a snipe. For a quick spell for 1, you snipe, and then I think for whatever the second effect is, you get like an additional like little baby cost. I think you get to like buff it up right to 3 if you have like an Idolmaster unit on the board or something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head, but there's that. Let's look at another cool list, see if anything's really changed. Kind of similar, a little different, where we have like this engine back. Running this girl. I don't think we saw this girl on some of the other lists. I don't think we saw this girl either. There's this one right here. She revives an 8 or less from your grave to the board. This card feels insanely strong. It's in Haven. Like, you can actually just splash her into Haven, keep in mind. So if you have like some kind of way to like discard, or just wait, or some big dudes you want to call like Izzerfills or Ramiko, which I believe this is what this card's name is, still don't know the exact name. But long story short, you know, you gotta get some beefy dudes back onto the board. You can get Aegis back, by the way, with her as well. You just so yeah, just something to keep in mind. There's some interesting ways you can kind of approach this card right here, and actually all 3 of these are just really good. This is really good too. So this is what cute looks like. It's gonna be a little bit different. I believe they're gonna be focusing on this girl or this girl. I don't remember which one of the 2 it focuses on, but it's a different main boss. Like the other one had like the blue looking girl. This one focuses on the different one. I'm trying to remember which one it is. I want to say it's her. I think she's the one that this deck mainly focuses on. I haven't tested or really looked into this deck as much, but I really should. But as you can tell, it's a very different build, focused on different cards for the most part. There's definitely a difference. The dragon card isn't in here anymore, so you're noticing a little bit of a difference here. And then let's go over to Passion too. So let's put a Passion list. Passion runs the Whispers And I don't know, Whisper's just such a good card. It also runs the Haven card in here, and then runs this other Dragon card and the other Haven card. I believe this one, it has like a complete different game plan from the other two. So this was the one I think I'm the most interested in trying because it has the most Haven cards in it, funnily enough. But I didn't actually try. It also runs Layla. I know this one because I kept I know this card for some reason. I don't know the name of this one, but Layla and that also this card's really cool. It's got the whole Tokyo background going with it. But yeah, another different build. I've noticed that this one tends to run the Whispers. What I've seen with some of the lists that I've kind of bumped into here and there. I'm not seeing it here, but I've definitely seen some run Whispers. I guess maybe it's just that one. I don't know. Here's actually another one cost focused. You'll notice a bunch of one costs here. Kind of focusing on that low drop area and then having a couple good high drops here at the end there. So that's another variation. I was looking at one more cute build just so you guys have like another one to kind of piggyback out. This one's also randomly running Whispers. I just think Whispers is a good card. For a mill one, you just, you know, nuke something strong on the board. And keep in mind, you know, into mirrors and stuff like that, there's a lot of 3 drops or less cards. Like you'll notice right here, right here, right here. You know, they're there, you know, so you can kind of duke them. But I feel like there's a lot of cards in the format that are 3 costs that are very nukeable cards they want to consider. There's new generation. Some people play into this new generation package where you play into the 10 drop. I believe you have to like bind like every mana or something like that. I don't know. You just like, I think you just remove like a bunch of cards from your cemetery and get the effect or something like that. I don't know how good or bad it is, but it seems interesting. It's more Highlander focused, as you can tell. It's got a little bit more of like a random cards kind of going for it. I believe they have to make different card names for the effect. I don't remember. We also have the combo idos, so you can play the combo aspect. I think the combo version is pretty good because you can play with the Anastasia and the 1-drops, and like I mentioned before, the forest cards are actually pretty good in the set, so you can play into that with Anastasia, and that's also really good. Also, we got the Bahamut. That's pretty cool. I think that's actually it. I know I haven't mentioned too much, but I believe that's mainly it, at least for deck standards side. I'm gonna try and see if there's maybe a little bit in set 7. I don't want to poke too deep in set 7 because we'll probably be looking at it. But I wanted to see if we have maybe a couple more of these Idolmaster decks specifically that we can look at. So we do have one right here. So here's another Idolmaster set, Idolmaster deck, and this is a maxed out, guys. That's insane. This one's running this girl. This is a different one from some of the other ones we've seen. But yeah, there's Whispers. I actually would not mind 3 signatures of Whispers because that card is beautiful. We still have, do have some cool still kind of popping in here, and you have the leader for it, and here's another cool deck right here. Get it? Ha! I'm gonna stop making that joke. I'll eventually stop making that joke. I think this is a pretty good list from what I'm seeing. It's a little bit more standard. Running the Runner Coach is so good. And then we also have the cute idols as well. So there's another list for the cute. And that's all I'm gonna look at for set 7. And we just peek at set 7 a little bit because it does have a little bit of the Idolmaster stuff. But that's basically it. As you can tell, Cool and D-Shift were really popular. You definitely, like, I'm telling you right now, if you look up WGP, you're gonna see so many cool decks. There's gonna be, it was like there were so many mirrors that I saw and a lot of D-Shift. Like definitely a lot of Kuon. This is actually in a way kind of a stressful set. There's so many options. There's so many little things you can do. There's so many different ways to kind of build stuff, and I feel like every card has some kind of relevance. Whether you're going for the Highlander approach, you're going for the trial deck approach, or you're putting the cards into your own decks that you already own, stuff like that. There's like so many different ways you can kind of include these cards that it kind of becomes, it's like a little overwhelming almost, but it's a cool thing because there's a lot of deck building opportunities, and it's going to actually make BCS really cool. We do have BCS coming up soon, and the Duluth one does have Idolmaster legal, so it's going to be really interesting to see how that turns out. But yeah, guys, I'm going to stop here. It's a little bit of a shorter video, a little bit less deck standard than usual, because like I said, I don't remember exactly what was going on during this period. Like in Japan, there might have been just like less tournaments happening. Maybe WGP was mainly it. I'm not too sure. It's been a year. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. 50cards.shop. OuterOrange if you need anything for Shadowverse. He's got a bunch. We do have Idolmaster dropping in a couple days. If you enjoy what you see here, like, subscribe. Peace out, and I'll see you guys in a future video. Bye!